Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today I thought we'd take a look at the Vintage Collection Weequay. This is the Skiff Master version from the Vintage Collection line. So let's head to the table and check this one out. And released in 2011 as part of the Vintage Collection, here is a look at the card for Weequay Skiff Master. It is what we expect for that vintage line. You got the Star Wars Return of the Jedi logo on top with that silver racetrack around the sides. You get the name front and center there with Weequay Skiff Master with a great image of him as we saw him on the skiff printed on the background of the card. And of course you do see the figure through that blister with the two included accessories. On the back of the card we got what I like to see here. First up, of course, you got the number in the line, which is VC number 48. You get the figure's name along with the same image that we saw on the front side of the car. In this case though, no bio about the figure, just a bio basically writing up about the Vintage Collection. But you do get his name again, the movie that he was in, and then the year of the release. And then along the bottom side, you got 5 other figures that were also available in the line at the time, followed by some legal information at the very bottom. Looking at it out of the packaging, I gotta say, this is a home run of a figure. Now that's obvious when you consider the figures that we're getting today, but you know, even back in 2011, this is still a great looking figure. I think we got a great representation of what we saw of him in the movie. Going in on the head sculpt, you do have a fantastic sculpting here to the face, the whole head area. Just a touch of black painting in there for the eyes. And then otherwise, it seems like there's just a little bit of like this dirt wash over the face just to kind of give him a little grungy look or something. But otherwise, through the entire cheekbone, eye area and stuff, you got very nice sculpting going on. And as it spins around, you'll also notice the lump of hair off the back of the head running around to the front. Sits on the shoulder pretty nicely, and as you see later, you know, it's soft enough that it doesn't hinder any articulation with the head area. Through the chest area, he does have this poofy coat on, nice quilted pattern to it. I think it's very representative again of what we saw in the movie. Here as well, just a very nice dirt wash all over the entire coat, arm, sleeve area and stuff. Certainly brings out the texturing of the quilted fabric of the jacket, if you will, and certainly in the wrinkling of the sleeves and stuff. Through that arm area, you do have just a little bit of color difference from the jacket, as it should. Just above the elbow area at that articulation point, you can see he's got some black bands painted on going around the bicep. And through the hand area, you do have some nice sculpting there as well. Coloring matches the face pretty good. Through the waist of the figure, he does have some details in that belt and holster area going on. Nice large pouch on the right side of his hip with a little bit of that leather distressing sculpted in throughout the belt area. Holster on the left side of his hip, you can slide that weapon in there, and I'll show that later. And another pouch sculpted along the back side. And then of course the rest of that quilted jacket just kind of extending down below the waist. As for the pants, pretty nice sculpting here as well. You know, they pretty much nail this stuff all the time. You're just sculpting fabric, giving it little wrinkles and stuff, so that's looking pretty good. And even the articulation that we have is pretty well hidden by the way they sculpted this. And then for the feet, well, it's brown boots. You do have some black straps painted on there at the top of the shoe. But otherwise, things are looking pretty good there. So I gotta say, top to bottom, nicely sculpted figure with a great paint job to it. As for the articulation of the figure, that head's on a ball joint, so certainly you're gonna get it spinning. You can go all the way here until the hair does get in the way, but that's quite the acceptable range to me anyways. You do get some tilting side to side, and of course a little bit up and down. Not too much, but it's pretty good. As for the shoulders, of course, you're going to get your rotation all the way around, and that is for both of those. And then also at the shoulder area, you got a hinge joint there. You're going to lift it well above 90 degrees, so pretty good range of motion for that. As for the elbow, you're going to be able to straighten that arm out and also bring that up just above 90 degrees there. And then, of course, he's got swiveling at the elbow. Both wrists have swiveling as well, so that's pretty good. As for the waist area, he's got swiveling there, so you're going to be able to spin him around. At the top of the legs, that's all you're getting forward before this gets in the way, but you're probably not going to try and sit him. Obviously, you want that jacket longer, so you've got plenty of room so that if you do need some help getting him to stand or something, which he doesn't have problems standing, but at least you do have just a little bit of room in there for that. And then for the knees, single joint, pretty tight, but there's your articulation for that. And he also swivels at the top of that kneecap. And then for the feet, you're just getting your swiveling. You can bring those all the way around if you want. Now, as far as 2 accessories, first up, the force pike. It's what we expect. We've seen this before, but you have some nice sculpting at the bottom of the force pike. And then as you get to the top, you got nice little silver detailing in through here for, I guess, whatever that wire detail would be. And a touch of silver painting at the blade of the force pike also. Aside from that, pretty nice sculpting otherwise at the top end of this. And it holds this just fine singly in each hand, or because all the articulation you have, you can give them some poses, action poses with that. And the second accessory he comes with is his little blaster. Pretty decent sculpting to it, and on each side of the blaster you do have a touch of silver painting and a little bit of off-white, maybe yellowish color for the handle. Same as that force pike. This will really fit in either hand, but with the holster on the left side of the figure, it would seem that he is left-handed with the gun. As I mentioned before, that holster does work, so you can just slide that weapon in there if you don't want him displayed with the gun in his hand. And so that wraps this one up. So like I said, top to bottom, this is a great looking figure. And, you know, I'll never turn down getting Cantina aliens, Jabba's aliens, all of those. That's part of what makes the Star Wars line of figures great, is getting more characters beyond your core heroes and villains. So as always, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.